After giving more than 30 talk show interviews in Europe, Norbert Heuser, a German entrepreneur, is now here on the Tan Talk Radio Network with his own show, Improve Your Life, covering many total different subjects and introducing many people from all walks of life. And now, here's Norbert Heuser.
6 p.m. every Monday to 7 p.m., my show on Tan Talk Radio called Improve Your Life. First of all, as I sometimes forget it, I must apologize, Ed. I want to thank Ed for doing his job in the studio and making all this technically possible. Ed, thanks a lot. Sorry, when I try to say thank you at the end of the show, it's mostly so hectic that I'm just forgetting it. I'm sorry. Okay, so Ed, thanks a lot for your fantastic work to put this technically together so people can hear us here on Tan Talk Radio, AM 1340, 1340. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this show is as well recorded as we speak, audio-wise and video-wise. So if you want to listen to the show later on again, or you want to watch the show again, please go to my website, improveyourlife.us, improveyourlife.us, and there you see all the previous shows as a podcast to listen to or as a video. And again, all my shows are on my YouTube station to watch them as well. So there's plenty of options. improveyourlife.us. Good. So far, so good. Now, at the beginning of the show, I usually confront you with a quote I gave you last week, asking you who said that. And I showed the quote again I showed last week. The quote was, "Everything is poison. There's poison in everything. Only the dose makes a thing not a poison. Only the dose, which means how much you take of it, makes it poison or not." So who said that? And nobody won the prize this week because nobody sent me an email with the correct answer. And the correct answer would have been Paracelsus. He was named the Swiss father of toxicology. Paracelsus. He's very known in Europe and maybe in America and the medical world as well. So he said that sentence, right? Cool. This week I have a new quote, and I ask you who said that quote. And if you know the answer, please send me an email to my office under improveyourlife.us, and then you can win one of these beautiful drinking cups and water bottles. Look here, that's what they look like. Fantastic product. All right. So, and here's the quote of this week. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then they fight you, then you win. Again, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Think about it and send me an email, and maybe you are the winner this week. And one more thing, the phone number. If you want to dial in this live show, the phone number is 727-441-3000. 727-441-3000. Next stop in my show is every week I give you a recommendation for a book. Now, I don't sell books, but I read a lot. On my bedside, there are like 50 books sitting. I don't have time to read them all step by step by step. And if I come across a book which I think is worth reading, I'll point it out to you. And I have listed this book as well on my website, improveyourlife.us. And it's just that I say, you know, sometimes we come across books which you personally think it's not worth it to read. If I think it's worth it, I'll point it out. Okay, here's the book of the week. It's called Acupuncture for Skeptics. Now, these of you who know me or who visited some of my workshop seminars, they know that I practice acupuncture, or called Chinese medicine, for many, many years. I have a big history in China and in Asia, and I'm very familiar with a lot of these techniques. and I practice myself to a certain extent. So these of you who don't know much about acupuncture, the book is called Acupuncture for Skeptics. And I think it's worth it to read it, even if you don't take acupuncture actually, or you don't plan to. It's an interesting knowledge, the Chinese medicine. And I will do later on a show about Chinese medicine, which I offer a bit of a knowledge I accumulated, not too much, but maybe worth it to share it, all right? All right, so after all these startup information and gimmicks, let's go into our subject of today. The subject of today is called the 6 management steps to health. The 6 management steps to health. Now, many of you will say, Christ, what does health have to do with management? It sounds like a business. Well, first of all, we all know that the medical world is primarily a business, to my humble opinion. It's primarily a business and not primarily to help people. I take it that a lot of people in the medical field, when they first started, especially doctors, had good intentions, but they were overwhelmed by the rules and regulations and by making money to pay the very expensive practices they built. Money is not helping the people, but intelligence, smartness, sanity, managing your body, managing your life is, to my opinion, the primary factor of being healthy or being sick. Now, what is health? To my definition, that's my personal opinion, a well-balanced mental and physical condition. If you're mentally and physically well-balanced in harmony, you are healthy. Now, a lot of us have chaos. Example, why do you go to a doctor? You go to a doctor because you say, my body is in chaos, something is wrong, and I need your help to become healthy again. I want to bring the body back in balance, in harmony. When do you go with your wife to a marriage counselor? You go with your wife to a marriage counselor the moment you feel your marriage is in chaos. And the opposite of chaos is harmony, to my definition. So you go to the consultant and say, look, our life is in danger. Our marriage is in chaos. Help us to bring back harmony back in our marriage, right? What happens if your car is in trouble? You go to a garage and say, hey, my car is in trouble. It's chaos. It doesn't work smoothly. It's not in harmony. Fix the car so it comes back to harmony. So our life was originally based on harmony. We love harmony. If you're not completely sick, you don't like fighting. You don't like arguments. You love harmony in your family, in your life, in your business. So, and to have harmony in your life has a lot to do with sanity, not with pills and medication and with doctors in white gowns. It is a state where you bring in sanity and you look around what's happening. Because every time you do something insane, small level, big level, doesn't matter, mentally or physically, you do something insane, the consequence is damage, mentally or physically. You take drugs, for example, a strong point, and of course, you know intellectually that will screw up my body, right? Long term, and my mental stage. You drink bad drinks, which I call, for example, all these energy drinks. And there's a drink called Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, which are, to my definition, the worst drinks in our society, which screw up everybody. I will make later a show about this where I explain this, why this is the case. So whenever you do something crazy, something which is wrong to your body and to your mind, the consequence is illness, sooner or later. The consequence doesn't always show in a minute. If you have a cell phone and you use that cell phone for years, the body will be damaged. There's no question. Plenty of proofs, and I have various shows where I explain it. Okay, so now what happens is when you do something wrong to your body or to your mind, warning signals come up. First, very small, very light. The body gives you a warning signal. I give you an example, which is very obvious, but it proves my point. When you're thirsty, the body tells you, I need water. And you don't drink any water. Well, guess what? A while later, the demand, the request from the body to have water becomes stronger and stronger. And the body is telling you, and listen up in very light terms, I will die. If you don't give me this water now, I will start to die. Now, and if anybody of you has ever been in the deserts and in a very bad situation about water, they understand completely what I'm talking about. They all of a sudden realize how essential water is. Now, the body gives you signal, I will die, give me the water. But we ignore it a lot, and then suddenly we have to drink because we feel like we're collapsing. The same is with hunger. When you're hungry, the body tells you, look, I'm hungry, give me some food. And if you ignore it, it comes out stronger. And if you ignore it, maybe your blood sugar drops and you feel like you're collapsing every moment. So these are signals from the body. These are good examples for you to see how the body knocks on your door. And the body does it the same thing with other topics, with other ideas, with other situations. When you have pain, well, what does pain mean? Pain means nothing else than here is an issue, and the body tries to handle it, and it signalizes, look, you got to do something. Here is an issue. And usually pain starts small, and discomfort in your body starts small. But in our so modern society, we have lost contact to our bodies and to our mind and to our spirit, and we don't feel it anymore. We ignore it. There's a writing on the wall. There's always a writing on the wall, but we prefer to ignore it because we know as well, if we follow it, we have to do something about it, right? We have to do something about it. And this makes most people uncomfortable because to do something means you may have to get out of your comfort zone. Most of us try to live in a comfort zone where we don't want to cross the border because going out of the comfort zone means extra work, extra time, extra efforts. And we feel comfortable in the comfort zone, and we want to stay there. And I used to say in my workshops, the true life only starts beyond the comfort zone, because then you add new information, new experiences to your life, and you may detect a lot of things which are very interesting. But if you stay in your four walls all the time, what else can you get into these four walls? Unless coming from TV and whatever, entertainment stuff, but really true inspiration, new experiences. So you got to leave your comfort zone. So pain kicks in before the big chaos comes. You know, the pain starts to kick in, starts to show you something is going on, and we usually lost the ability to see that and to realize that and to follow that through. Now, over the years, I'm in for 40 years now in alternative medicine as my passion, and for the last 12 years as my profession. And I've given hundreds of workshops around the globe in many countries, and many interviews and talk shows. And I talk to many people. I'm very interested in their cases. And what I found out was, and I finally came across the concept and I started to write it down. I said, it can't be that easy, right? It can't be that easy. And I saw, yes, it is pretty easy, which means Every illness situation has 6 management steps. Wow. Yes, it has 6 management steps, which I discovered. And you can agree with me or not. Let's see at the end of the show if you agree with me. I found that there are 6 steps in consequence and in sequence. For everybody is the same sequence. Every step needs a handling. Now, some people have, for example, a problem with the step number 1, which we're talking about. Other people say, oh no, step 1 is easy, step 5 is difficult. So everybody feels that one of those steps is more or less more difficult than the others for themselves. Why is it different? Because everyone lives a different life. We don't have the same condition. We may be born at the same day like somebody else. We may even have twins. But still, we live a different life. We have different situations with money, with family, with happiness, with sports, with education, whatever it is. We don't live the same life, so we don't feel always the same about the same thing. Otherwise, we would all marry the same woman, wouldn't we? Or the same man, if we have all the exact same opinion. All right. So far, so good. So then let's start to look at the first one. The first management step, I call it confront. Confront. Now, what does confront mean? Confront means nothing else that there's an issue which needs to be handled. You can look at something or somebody in a relaxed, neutral mode. You don't get panicked over it. You realize the situation and you realize something needs to be done. Hopefully you realize that. You have to confront it. Now what happens is some people look at something and they belittle it. The bleeding out of their nose and ears and say, okay, I just had a bad day. Or they have the slightest coughing and it's already cancer. And they dramatize it. So to confront it means you look at it for what it really is, relaxed. You're getting in a mode where you just observe and don't get emotionally involved to blow it up or to reduce the importance. No dramatization, no belittleness. So you confront what is truly there. And you have to say to yourself, depending on what it is, I got to do something now. I got to start and look around yourself. And you have very often in a marriage that the wife says, hey, this is a problem. And you say, no, I'm fine. And you brush it off. By tendency, doctors confirm to me that women seem to be much more open to listen to their bodies and their emotional reactions and contact the doctor or even drag their husband to the doctor as the husband just kind of belittles it. And women are a bit more sensitive there. So no more justification or excuses. Do not hope I don't look at it and it will go away by itself. My life experience tells me that if there are real problems usually don't go away by themselves. We may not look at them for a day or for a year or whatever, and eventually they slap back in your face. So be alert that there's a situation you have to confront and you have to take action. That is the step number 1, confront. So a lot of people have a problem right there. Think about it. If you want to talk about it, call me any day, send me an email. You find my contacts on improveyourlife.us. Now we head right back to the concept, and then there's a step number 2. Now the step number 2 is I called it the right protocol. What does it mean? You have to find the right health practitioner, which can be a medical doctor, or it can be somebody from what you call alternative medicine. It doesn't matter. Find products and procedures which work. Now, I tell you frankly, that is not easy, because there are so many options out there. And then there's one thing which happens to a lot of people, not only a few. A lot of people have given up on this because they went already to 3, 5, 10 or more doctors asking for help. And whatever the doctors did to them and with them didn't help. It didn't help. It made no change. There were situations where people were invalidated by the doctor and says like, you think you have this problem, but I can't see it. Well, there are a lot of problems somebody may have, and the doctor is truly not capable of seeing it. And it's not always illusion. Yes, and I can clearly say that there are some nutcases out there of people who really, I call it, ask for attention. They go to a doctor or they talk to their friends and family members, and they're dramatizing their case, and I can clearly see all they need is attention. They want somebody to pity them. Attention, this is very dangerous, guys. Very dangerous. You get sucked in and you don't realize the person needs attention. And every doctor can confirm this, and everybody in the medical field. I'm not making this up. This exists, absolutely. And there's something else which exists to my definition. That's my personal opinion. 85% of all doctors are poor in their job or mediocre at best. They are a disgrace at times. 85% is just not acceptable. Then there is 10% of doctors which are good, truly good. And 5% which are fantastic. The problem is to find at least the 10% which are good, or even the 5% which are fantastic. Now, why are they good and fantastic? I will make another show which I will call The Good and Not So Good Doctor, to which I'll give you some introduction here, which is a part of that. Now, why are they so good and not so good? The doctors which I found are fantastic, and I worked with a lot of them in the last 40 years, and I learned a lot of them from them, and I will keep learning from these guys. The 5 or 10% which are good or fantastic, they have all a few things in common. They never did it for the money in the first place. They really truly wanted to help the people and stuck to it when times became tough, and they started their own praxis. And they all realized once they left university, crap, university? They taught me how to write prescription about toxic chemicals. They didn't really teach me life and people and medicine. And once they leave the university and start to work, they start to learn, and they started to look for answers. And a lot of them found a lot of answers, and many of them use different techniques, not only one particular method of healing people. This is what they have in common. So the problem is how to find the 5 or 10%. Now, very clearly, it is difficult to find this 5 or 10%. Now, one thing one should not necessarily do, if you have Tom who had a problem, and let's say he was helped with his problem, truly helped, good. It doesn't mean that the same method, the same doctor, the same protocol will help you, because you are a different person. Even if you show both the same symptoms, your cause of that symptom may be a complete different one than the cause of the other person. So be careful, guys, be careful. You cannot do what John did, and it may work for you or not. Now, the other thing I always tell people, if they ask me for advice, I'm not a doctor, I cannot give you medical advice. I cannot give you medical advice. I can just tell you what my experience is and what I would do. I'm a life coach, and people come to me to ask me for advice in different fields of life. You got to find a doctor from whom you have the clear indicator that he's looking to find the cause, because we only want to get rid of the symptoms. Example, you have a headache. A headache pill, does not stop the cause. the reason for the headache. It just numbs the pain. And granted, a lot of doctors confirm to me, a lot of patients, that's all what they want. Go in the praxis, give me that damn pill, let me swallow it. I don't feel the pain anymore. Thanks a lot, doctor. You're great. Bye-bye. My parents were some of these people. And I watched them for a long time. They all became way above 90. So I saw a lot what they did and how they did it. Most of us just want the symptoms to go away as quick as possible. So if you have a headache and the doctor tells you, here's the pill for you to swallow, I personally would prefer you to take for 30 minutes a walk in the forest. And I could almost bet that your headaches will be gone. What's the percentage of people who will take a walk in the forest? Very little. We live in an instant society. You want to get rid of it immediately. The cheapest way possible. Cut corners. That's the way people want to treat their health and their body. So I always suggest, look for a doctor. For a doctor who is, in his mindset, ready to explore with you the true reason for your problem, not the symptom. I give you an example of when I dove into Chinese medicine. I had a young guy, my eyelids were red like a rabbit. I mean, they were so red and they were so hurting. It was incredible. And I went to many doctors, many eye doctors, and they all told me the same thing. You're blonde, you have blue eyes, that's typical, there's nothing we can do, that's in your chromosomes, la 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 la. And give me that pill and give me that cream, and nothing helped. One day I went to a doctor and she said to me, young man, you have not a problem. I was 16, I remember vividly. You have not a problem with your eyes, you have a problem with your liver. And I left this praxis and I said to myself, what an idiot. I don't have a liver problem, I have an eye problem. However, funny enough, 30 years later in Chinese medicine, I found that she was right. A Chinese doctor, if you have a problem with your eyes and you didn't poke yourself in the eye, a Chinese doctor will always look at your liver, because the liver and the eye are on the same meridian. I will do a show a bit about Chinese medicine and we talk about what a meridian is. It's basically the highway of energy through the body. Along the meridians are some 400 acupuncture points, and the meridian for the liver and the eye are the same. So the Chinese doctor will treat the liver to get rid of the eye problem, okay? So we have to find a doctor who is willing to look for the cause and not for the symptoms only. Yes, to reduce the symptoms if it's really bad for the moment, okay. But long term, you have to find the cause. Now, when you go to doctors, they have very often fill you out a form, okay? History of family, who in your family had cancer and who had diabetes and so on and so on, and you fill this out. And I call it a dirty trick. I call it a dirty trick from the doctors. First of all, to my personal humble opinion, there is no way in this world that you can ever inherit an illness from your forefathers. No way in the world you can inherit it from your forefathers. You can be mistreated physically by the parents, which shows in a physical condition as an illness, which is called psychosomatic, which means you have a manifestation of an illness in your body, but has been caused by a mental mistreatment or a physical mistreatment. This you can inherit from your parents, but no illness. Now, what is the trick, the dirty trick, I call it dirty trick with the doctors? It's very simple. You fill out these forms, and if the doctor cannot help you to handle this, the doctor will pull his last ace out of the sleeve and say, look, sorry, you have apparently a problem which you inherited down the line from your forefathers. There's nothing I can do about it. And he pulls out, and what can you say? Can you say, hey, come on, is that all you can do? Yes, this is all he can do. And what he does is he gives you a pill and says, take this pill twice a day. Now, how does he know that you have to take this pill twice a day? The answer is he doesn't know. He read it on the packaging, and he follows the packaging. And how does the company who manufactures those pills knows how many you have to take? Frankly, they don't know. They're just making it up. You want to tell me that a 300-pound guy needs 2 pills with his body mass for this thing, where a 100-pound young girl or lady takes 2 pills as well? Nonsense. Complete nonsense. Okay. In my career, when I practiced kinesiology, muscle testing, in muscle testing, you can find out exactly how much of that pill, whether it's toxic or not, the person will need. We'll talk about kinesiology on another show. So every one of these pills has side effects. I once recorded a show where the side effects of a pill, the advertising time of the commercial, 1/3 was about the product, 2/3 about the side effects. Jesus, 2/3 about the side effects of the advertising time of the commercial? Now, if this is all true, the side effects, maybe there's some missing, may not, whatever it is. Now, many people not take only 1 pill. They take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medication. I've seen people with 10, up to 20, personally. And then maybe even more. So, if that company, pill number 1, tested for side effects, and the company number 2 tested their pill for side effects, never ever was tested, if you take both pills together, what the side effects could be, or 3, or 4, or 5. Never ever. And it will never ever be done, because they don't go through this, and it may brush off a lot of customers and business. So a lot of you have lost hope. You've seen so many doctors and you just gave up hope. Nobody could help you. And then you take whatever they give you, hoping one day it will go. All right. And when was it the last time you heard a doctor say, ever, if you ever heard some doctor say, sorry, I cannot help you. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing. Before he says that, because he has no dignity, he has no ethics. If you come to me to a garage where somebody fixed a car with a Mercedes and you never worked on Mercedes, then you say to the guy, look, I'm not a Mercedes mechanic. I can't help you. Go to a Mercedes store. Doctors don't do that. They say, take the pill here twice a day and come back in 2 weeks. You may have heard that sentence quite often, haven't you? And that's all they do. But we're looking all for the silver bullet. We're looking for a single bullet which covers being healthy, sexy, looking good, making a lot of money, and we can fill in the blanks here. We're all looking for that silver bullet. Now, until Amazon will deliver that bullet to you, to your doorsteps, you better stop dreaming about it and start working on it. And health is work. Trust me. To be healthy is work. Nothing good happens without work. Only crap happens without work. Lots of work, dedication, burning midnight oil, blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing good happens, and the headaches don't go away if you don't find the cause. They will come back eventually. Okay? Be careful when you read a prescription or a packaging. We are all full of toxic crap in our bodies, all of us. And we have to detox. Like we brush every day the teeth, we would have every day to detox the body. I'll talk about this some other day. Now, And most of us are permanently dehydrated. I will talk about dehydration and water on another show, because there's very much to be said. It can be difficult to find the right program, but that's a normal step, and you have to do it. I'm sorry, you have to do it. Expect no overnight changes. I have a philosophy that if you have the right protocol, the right procedure, the right doctor, within 3 months, you will see major improvements, or even completely gone. But if you don't see major improvements within 3 months, to my personal opinion, you don't do the right thing. Because once you offer the body the right protocol, the body has a tendency of self-healing if you do it right, which includes that you eat good quality food. We talk about this some other day. That you drink good quality water. Most of you don't drink good quality water. I can tell you already now, 99% of the people who listen to this don't drink good quality water. A lot of them say, oh, I have a reverse osmosis system. Yeah, to my opinion, that's crap. And I tell you why. It makes you more sick. So you have to eat the right food, drink the right water, treat yourself spiritually proper, and then treat your body right. Then you have a great chance that the body heals itself. No doctor can heal you. No pill can heal you. The only person who can heal you is yourself. The others can give you the right tools, but that's all, the right tools. But you got to do it yourself, heal the body. But you give the body the option, the foundation of healing itself. And doing everything wrong with your body. And take that pill, for example, and you think now that fixes it and I can do everything wrong again. A friend of mine had an open heart surgery. He's at Toulouse, and the doctors were great. They got him out of this. They saved his life. And when he got out of this, he told me very clearly, which I told him before, but he wouldn't listen, that he had too much of an alcohol problem. And he admitted and says, yes, I can see, and I will change my life now. And he did, as far as I know, since I saw him last time. And many of us who suddenly see death have then the courage or the power or the must to change their lifestyle. Because most of us are sick because of our lifestyle, what we call lifestyle. Cell phones make you sick. Electric cars make you sick. Certain drinks make you sick. Certain foods make you sick. But it's sexy. It's rock and roll. It's sexy. It's fluffy. So you have to find the right protocol, okay? That was number 3. Now let's see the next one. No, number 2, I'm sorry. The next one. Number 3, funds. Well, that's the fastest thing for me to talk about, funds. Because regardless what you do, how easy it is, how cheap it is, there's always money involved. Always. $5, $10, $50, $500, $5,000. Whatever the money is, or whatever the insurance doesn't cover, there is money involved. And you better prepare yourself to have the funds available. And nowadays, I can see that a lot of people spend more money and time and attention for their car than for their body. And I had a dear friend, a dentist, who confirmed to me that very badly dentist work needed to be done, and the patient preferred to buy a new car, though the old car would have lasted another year or 2 or 3. But he wanted that new car and didn't spend the money for the teeth. And I understand dentistry is very expensive. And most people do as well, that they take the position, if the health insurance pays for it, I'll do it. If the health insurance does not pay for it, I will not do it. I don't pay out of pocket. Okay. And to my humble opinion, the health insurances do support sometimes questionable procedures, or are not willing to pay for what they call alternative procedures, which keeps a lot of options for the patients unavailable to become healthy. All right, so that was the point we just covered, to make the funds available. You have to make the funds available. And that was number 3, okay? So we had Confront, the right protocol, the funds. Now let's move over, before time is up, to number 4, the time. Again, time is an issue, and it's very easy. You got to give it the time the body needs to recover. You got to give it the time. And we all hope that it goes away in a minute, in a day. Now, how can you expect somebody goes away after you developed it for over a period of 5, 10, or 20 years to go away in a week? Because an illness usually develops over a day or a week or a month, unless you poisoned yourself. So people are very often not willing to give it the time. They want instant success. We live in an instant society. Instant food, instant detox, instant happiness, instant health. There's no instant, only if you do instant crap. Crap is instant, but everything good needs work. Like, I remember when I was a child, I wanted my racing bike. I had to work for 2 years every vacation on a gas station to wash cars and fill up with gas. And after I did this for 2 years on every vacation, I had enough money to buy me my dream bicycle. Now, if you tell a kid today, oh, you can't have your bicycle now, you got to wait for half a year, or next Christmas, they look at you. Are you crazy? I want the bike now. We want everything now, instantly. And we're not willing to invest time. And if our marriage doesn't work, we're not willing to spend 2 years to work on it with our partner. We'd rather get a divorce real quick and start all over again. And what happens is, once you get the right protocol, let's assume, and you get started on it, there is something which I call curve of healing. And those of you who go on my website and see the video, the curve of healing is that you're healthy, number 1. Number 2 on the graphic, illness kicks in, but you don't perceive it yet, but it's potentially there with light symptoms. Number 3, the problem is there. The problem is there. It's imminent. And then come more symptoms, more symptoms. You do the right thing, still some symptoms, less symptoms, still some symptoms, number 4. And when number 4 comes, means you think the problems seem to be gone. You don't feel it anymore, the big time bad feelings. But it's not completely cured yet. It is not gone yet. Number 5, the illness is still present, maybe not noticeable. And that's the point where people stop treating their body properly. They stop treating their body properly, and it is not gone yet. And they're not back to number 6, again, healthy. That's my curve of healing. That means a lot of people stop that curve too early. They stop the treatment too early. Once the major symptoms are gone, they think they covered it. But the illness may be not gone completely. And maybe have even found the real reason, the real cause for the illness. That's what you have to look into. So give it the time it needs. And again, it should be symptomatic better within 3 months. At least a big part of it, or completely. Then you're on the right track. But it needs a change in lifestyle. Trust me, it needs a change in lifestyle. So we got to then quickly run to our number 5, prevention. Well, at least one thing went wrong, which put you in this position. You did something wrong, which put you in this position, or more than one thing, mentally or physically. And you have to make sure that you prevent this from happening again. And change is difficult. You have to say goodbye to old habits, old dependencies. It's very difficult. Poor attitudes brought you in this situation. You got to change. For example, unhealthy food or alcohol or sweets or coffee. Coffee is the devil. I will make a show about coffee soon when we talk about coffee, right? It's the devil, to my definition. So, and even if you have a relationship which mentally gives you a hard time and you become physically and mentally ill, well, you have to look into the relationship. Is it worth to proceed this relationship? Is it really worth to live this life with this boss or in this marriage or in this country or in this political situation? If you don't handle it, everything you don't handle will keep haunting you. Whether you look at it or not, it doesn't matter. It will get back to you, guaranteed. As you recover, hopefully, please analyze what went wrong and what was the real cause. You ended up in this situation as you mistreated your mind or your body, yourself, or you let others mistreat you. You allowed them to mistreat you. And the consequence shows in your body. Change your lifestyle accordingly, that it will not happen again. Because if it happens again next time, it may be too late, and you may have a problem to handle this for the rest of your life. That was step number 5. Now we come to the last step. That was prevention, and the last step is maintenance. So what is maintenance? Well, you brush twice a day, typically, your teeth, because you know, if I do it just once a day or once a month or once a year, that doesn't do it, right? We know that. It doesn't do it. You have to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And I tell you frankly, that's not always very funny and very interesting. It's not always very entertaining. We did the prevention, yes, but we have to change the lifestyle to maintain the healthy position. And that can be boring at times. I tell you, to live a healthy lifestyle, you should only drink water. Real, good, healthy water. Now, is that as sexy as Red Bull and Coke and funny and entertaining? No, it's not. But for everything funny and sexy, we pay our price. What have the following things in common? Health, spirituality, love, wisdom, knowledge. Again, health, spirituality, love, wisdom, and knowledge. They have all one thing in common. The one thing in common is you will never arrive. None of these topics you will ever arrive at a final station. It's permanent work throughout your life. You have to keep working at it. There's no other way around. My show is called Improve Your Life. My website is improveyourlife.us. My name is Norbert Heuser, and I'm here on Ten Talk Radio, AM 1340, every Monday, 6 to 7 o'clock. If you know somebody who should be on my show, they should contact me. If you have an idea, if you have a theme, a suggestion for me you would like to talk about or listen to, please let me know. I have a big reservoir of many topics which I will bring over time on this station all the time. And again, Ed, thanks a lot for doing what you're doing, and I appreciate. And you have to listen to all what I'm saying here in my monologue, right? Part of your job. Thanks a lot, Ed. Thank you very much, all of you, and bye-bye.